G'day viewers, in front of us is the NJ TRANSIT ALP-46. We're at Summit Station on the Morristown Line, and this one's not actually a new train, and I've already got a tutorial, but I figured people might go looking for it, so I'm making one. So let's just go in and take possession first up. And our reverser is already in, strangely. Normally it would not be, but that's okay. If it's not in, you just click on it and it will go in. Windscreen wipers are down there. We are a electric locomotive. We have to hit brake cut in to be able to control the brakes. And then we'll pop up, and behind us, let's turn on some safety systems. So let's turn ATC to cut in, turn ACSES to cut in, and turn the alerter to cut in, and that should be all we need to do there. ATC stops you running into the bum of other trains. ACSES covers your civil speed limits like bridges and points and curves. And the alerter just pokes you in the eye every now and again to see if you're awake, and if you don't respond, it will stop your train. All right, going to unlock the doors. So I'm just using the Y key for the left-hand doors. You can use the left and right on your D-pad controller. This one does not have door release things in it, so you have to use that. And if we have a look outside, we should see that our doors are open, and indeed we do, and we should have all the doors open. Nice. Wait until 9:50. I think we can start shutting the doors, so I've just hit the Y key again, because they'll take a few seconds anyway. There we go, and we're right. Okay, reverser is in forwards. We need to release the brakes. This is a lapped brake. And then we should be able to apply some power, and we're going to see all these ridiculous rewards. That's okay. Brakes will eventually come off, and we should be able to apply power. Should be able to apply power. There we go. Lovely. Okay. Looking down here on this screen, this is the traction motors. They're jiggling like that because I've got a bit too much power on for the conditions. There we go. They've settled down now. I've reduced a bit. So brake pipe pressure, current kilovolts is 25 kV. Over here on the right-hand gauges, we have the red one is the main reservoir. The white one is the equalizing reservoir, so this is the one you want to watch when you're setting suppression. Get that down to a bit below 90 and you should get suppression. Or you can put it into the position up about here, just before a handle off, if you're desperate. White is the brake pipe. The brake pipe follows the equalizing, so whatever you set on the equalizing, if you set that to 90, the brake pipe will drop to 90. And the red one is the brake cylinder on this locomotive only. And it's probably only the lead bogie as well. Let's just take the power off a little bit because we are getting pretty close to our permitted speed. You take the lesser of what you can see. So we've got the HUD up there on the top left showing 15, and we're shown on the ADU here, or SDU as some things call it, that we're now allowed to do 45, but we were allowed to do 20. And the little yellow bit is your permissible overspeed. That's how much over the speed you can go. Now you'll notice how HUD's still saying 15, even though the ADU is saying 45. There we go, it's just gone because the HUD changes when the back of your train passes that point, which is the correct point to start powering up. We'll just let the computer take care of the slip while we go up on full power. Should be fine. Just come back off the juice because we're getting very close to our permissible speed. And we are going downhill, so we can go into the dynamic braking on this locomotive, pushing the controller past 0. Goes into dynamic or regenerative braking. which lets you control the speed of the locomotive. You can see, even though we're going down a fairly steep gradient, we are holding fairly true on 47 there, which is good enough. We are still creeping up, so I'll give it a little bit more braking. It probably is regenerative in this locomotive, thinking about it, because it's probably is going back into the overhead, I would imagine. Now, if you're driving the cab car at the other end of this thing, you will notice that the controller looks remarkably like this one, and it does have a dynamic brake range, but that doesn't actually apply to the cab car. I'm just giving it a little bit more because we are still increasing. We want to stay under our speed limit of 50 so that we don't get punished. I don't think I put the headlights on, did I? No, they're on dim, that's fine. Ditch and crossing lights, we can put those on auto so that they flash when the horn is blown. And that's everything we need to do. I should have done that at the start. Contact signaler on this one is... There's a panel or a phone somewhere. Is it that one? No, that's emergency shutdown.
The next station stop
there it is.
Short Hills. When
good.
The train, please watch the gap.
Alright, we can put on some braking, and it is a lapped brake, so I'm watching the equalizing gauge. I just brought that down to 90. The brake pipe has followed suit. This is feeling adequate. We also have a lot of regenerative braking on at the moment, so we could probably bring that back to 0 so they don't fight each other. I'm going to release the air brakes because we're going to stop too early. Just let it crawl down there. Since we're on a gradient, we'll accelerate anyway. Why spend money when gravity can do the work for you for free? We shouldn't need a particularly heavy brake to stop us in the right spot. Now, because it's a lapped brake, and I didn't explain that too well then, so let's explain it now while we're stopping. I'm going to go into the service position, and I'm watching the equalizing gauge, and I'll stop that at about 100. And that puts 20 pounds in the cylinder, and that should be enough for a good stop at this speed. Yeah, good enough. Now you notice the air brakes. Let's get the doors open. I'm using the U key. You can use the right on your D-pad on your controller if you're on a console. Or indeed, if you have a controller plugged into the PC, that works fine. All right, let's lock the doors. And again, we'll watch the equalizing now. So I'll release the brakes. Oops, wrong handle. We'll release the brakes. You see the equalizing white needle on the left went up to 110. The brake pipe followed it, and now the brakes are coming off. So we'll put on some power. Probably should have put the bell on coming into the station. There's probably people raging at their screen right now, but I'm not particularly famous for doing that, I have to say. But you should. That's the correct thing to do. I don't believe on this railroad they honk onto the way into stations. I think they just put on the bell. Look at that. An American locomotive with more than 8 notches. Rebels. Coming up over 40, so I shall start reducing the power because we are still going down a very steep slope. That gives me time for the engine's revs to drop before I do this, or the traction motor current to drop rather. It's not engine revs in this because it's not a diesel. Just gradually bringing that up. We were on B7 before and that was holding us, so I've gone back to B7. We'll see how that goes. It's not quite as steep here though. So we'll come back down to B4 now.
The next station stop is Milburn. When leaving the train, please watch the gap.
Alright, so let's watch the equalizing again. We're coming into the platform. This time I'm going to take it down to 90 and go back to lap. because we need to stop a bit quicker. And release. Bring this back to 0. I thought that little platform was it back there. So we'll go into service, bring it to 100, back to lap. Bring it to 90, back to lap. Near enough to 90 anyway. That feels like a decent enough stop. I think that's going to achieve what we want. It'll do. Fraction early, but it should do. Yes, it did. Okay, get the doors open. That's about it for driving this beastie. So I don't think I really need to show you any more than this. So we won't continue the run because I'm not here to record an entire run. Shutting down at the end, put your brakes into the handle off position and cut out. Power is on 0. Bring our reverser back to there and you should be able to get it out. There we go. And you just headlights off, and get up, walk away. You're done. All right. Have fun, folks. Enjoy yourselves, and we shall see you later. Any questions, chuck them down below. Like and subscribe and all that sort of fun stuff because it makes me do this. Bye. All right. Bye.
We played a game.